Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, not Discord, shit. I've been saying that for too long, and it gets me every now and then. Joining me on StreamYards, it is my partner in crime, the co-host of this show, Edgelord, not Edgelord, fuck. Now I'm all frazzled. Now I'm all fucked up. There won't be a third fuck up. Joining me through StreamYards, it is my co-host, the Take Top Sage. It's Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
Well, it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Oh, what's good, Chris?
What
up, everybody listening? That's two derps.
That's two derps. That's bad. I think it's I don't even
Once
remember.
upon a time, you'd be in the danger zone.
Once upon a time. It won't happen again. Also joining us, it is my little brother, our producer, Edgelord. Big news, Brian.
Sup, dweebs?
I'm fucking up. That's what it is.
Sup, Polyworld.
Yeah, Brian is Polyworld today. This is a special request from me. Been a big Polyworld guy, big Polyworld fan. I'm very excited to get into the show. We got a jam-packed show this week. We are covering more series this week than we have in a long time. So let's get into it real fast. How was your guys' weeks, by the way, before we jump into it?
Pretty
Had a nice
good.
weekend. Nice little weekend. Got back in, it was nice to watch football. We talked about it on the pre-show. Check that out.
Yeah.
Been playing Marvel Rivals, It's
You've been playing ranked yet?
Yeah. A little bit.
Where you
here
at?
and there. Still silver, but I've only played 8 games.
You gotta get in the grind set.
I know. All I do is play quick play because that's what a lot of my friends want to play. But my boy Evan, he be wanting to play ranked, so but we're gonna push for that a little bit more. Definitely in season 4.
I've been so I've added a little bit to my Shonen Jump journey. I've taken a pause from reading the newer series. I've picked up Naruto, following it, taking a page out of Josh's book of reading an older series and regaling the boys with my travels. I just got to the Land of Waves arc.
Oh, that's what Zabuza is, right?
Zabuza Momochi.
I forgot that's his name. Wow, does that mean we're ignorant because we're laughing at his Japanese name?
No, I said it in a funny voice.
Okay.
Zabuza Momochi.
After 11, huh? It's cool that I could track where you're at.
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of the striking things about Naruto at this time is how impressed people were with the substitution jutsu.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was like
When
hidden.
When Kakashi did the substitution jutsu for the first time, Sasuke was freaking out, dude. He said, "Oh my god, he did the fucking substitution jutsu."
Oh, substitution. I'm thinking about the shadow clone. No, you're talking about just the regular ninja shit.
No, yeah, the regular ninja shit that would go on where they were like, "Holy shit, he replaced himself with a log." And then he caught Sasuke
that
with
used
it.
to be clutch.
The first time he did it was with Naruto, and they were doing like the bell training thing. And then Naruto punched his clone because Kakashi did the substitution jutsu with one of Naruto's clones. And then Sasuke's like, "Whoa, he did the substitution jutsu." And then Sasuke tried to hit him with like a bunch of knives, and it hit him, but then it was a log. And then Sasuke's like, "No, he caught me with the substitution jutsu. I'm such an idiot." Just seeing the little
Sasuke
jutsu.
was analyzing that shit.
Yeah, it was like a whole like quarter of the page. Be like explaining how the substitution jutsu works. Just in retrospect, reading what becomes of Naruto is very funny.
I mean, Hear me out. Let me play devil's advocate here. What if it's like that on purpose? Like you're in the perspective of 13-year-old kids.
You are. No, that is.
But
that
then
is
as the series goes on, they get more and more seasoned. So that shit that they were surprised about when they were 13 is like fucking breathing air at that point.
Yeah.
For them. So it's like it's just another way to show their progression as ninjas. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's true. But I'm saying like in a meta way of knowing what the series becomes. Like we all know what happens where there's chakra megazords fighting against each other. And seeing these guys freak out about the substitute jutsu and the mist jutsu.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, when did it get out of hand? Pretty early, right?
No, I don't think it got out of hand very early. Maybe I want to say Shippuden. I think it took a while for it to get really crazy.
What about Naruto versus Gaara?
Naruto versus Gaara was still kind of in the realm. It's very high level, but it wasn't.
Okay, I'll tell you exactly. I'll explain exactly when it got out of hand. After the 5 Kage versus Madara, I think. That was once it after that point, I think that's when shit got way blown out. Shit started going down the shitter.
You know when?
You know what? I think I
know. I got a thought of it. I think it got out of hand when the Susanoo was introduced.
No.
That was the first Chakra Megazord.
Yeah, but not like it was a Chakra Megazord, but it wasn't like, you know, crazy. You know what I mean?
Yes, it was.
I have a moment.
What?
When Naruto took control of his chakra beast, and it went from having this, he had that sage style jutsu where she was like beginning to master, and we thought like, all right, like this is gonna be Naruto shit. And then he got his like overcoat form, and then he started fucking making like three Rasengans with one fucking hand. Like, that fight. Yeah, when he pulled up to fight Madara and the sand, the dead old Kazekage with the golden sand or whatever. Yeah, Naruto was wilding out. I think for me, that was when I was like, okay.
Now that you mention it,
everything started going.
You want to know why? You want to know why that might be the case? Is because fucking that may have been the last time Naruto had to work for something in like for the rest of the series. Because up till that point, he was like hard having to practice everything he was learning in Shippuden. And then after that, he's just like, all right, I've unlocked God mode now. So
yeah.
He was wilding for respect, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to that point. But actually, I'm enjoying this read through of Naruto so far. I can see like the little magic that caught me when I was a kid and caught all of us. It's still there.
Do you play the Naruto? Do you read the Naruto? Listen to the Naruto OST while you're reading it?
No.
For maximum nostalgia?
I should, I guess. But
like every time there's a fight, you play the pianos. Naruto
had a great soundtrack.
I never loved like the intro songs to the animes for them. Like, to be honest, like none really like stood out to me, but just my personal opinion. All right, I'm not trying to have a debate about it. All I'm saying, I just wanted to emphasize that I do remember the sound effects from that. From the
tuning exam one was pretty cool. The tuning exam opening is great. It's one of them quintessential Shonen Jump openings. But yeah, I haven't made it very far. I'm only 11 chapters in.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see. It's crazy how much his art has evolved as well. Like Kishimoto really like stepped up his art and got really ambitious towards the latter half of Naruto. I'm not saying that it's bad right now, but like there's such a staunch difference between like what his art started out with how he ended.
Yeah, that's pretty true. His art definitely evolved really hard during this.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not very far, but that's been my journey with Naruto. I'll report back again next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Damn, you make me want to reread Naruto.
Yeah, I kind of got the vibe too. I kind of was like, man.
What if we do this? What if we do like a weekly book club for Naruto?
Well, we'd have to like
we'd have to read up till a certain arc. We go arc by arc, week by week.
Damn, arc by arc.
We have to wait for each other. Then I don't like that pressure. Feeling like I have to read.
What? Come on, it would be so sick. Oh my god, this would be so fun.
I'm also reading. I'm down to do it, but
I'm not down for it. I'll say that.
Come on, it'd be so fucking.
We'll figure out a way. We'll figure out a way.
Because you're still early, so you could wait.
The way I'm doing it is, I'm doing it the same way I'm reading like my actual, like the other Shonen Jump series that I'm trying to catch up to, where I'm reading them in 20 chapter increments, and then I move to the next one. I do 20 chapters of that, and then I read 20 chapters of Naruto.
20 a week?
Not a week. I'm reading them at my own pace, but yeah, we'll figure something out.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah. Josh, do you have anything to report about One Piece, or I know you have?
No, I haven't been reading that much One Piece for some reason. I mean, I have been reading it, but
sometimes
actually, I'm in Wano.
Wano. We're close.
They already ran into the Scarecrow dude. We found I remember finding out like his power, and that was pretty lit. Man, like this is such a crazy arc. I just know like I'm in for the long haul, but I actually want to talk about something else. I have completely caught up to Demon Slayer in the anime.
Hey,
obviously I already read the series and know what happens and stuff, but I guess I want to say a few things about Demon Slayer. Anime looks gorgeous. A lot of the things I felt like I remembered I didn't like care for, I don't feel the same way watching it over again. I don't think it's in like the best series ever and nothing like that, but it's definitely just good for what it does. I actually have a much different respect for Demon Slayer. I let people get to my head a little too much when it comes to these things. People just go really hard for the shit they love, and people are allowed to. That's definitely okay, and it's definitely one of those series that I understand why people like really love or would say is their favorite or the best. The power scaling is kind of weird. I think it's pretty steady. The formula is that shit always gets super duper fucking desperate before there is actually whenever you think all right, like there's actually some growth here, like because they struggled so much before that this one is a little bit simpler, and nope. Shit, so it kind of feels like shit drags. All right, I'll tell you this. There was one moment where I felt a little bit of fatigue, and that's when they was fight. It was the blacksmith village arc.
Oh my god! I'll tell you, I felt the same way. I think I may have felt the same way.
They was fighting. Spoilers, of course, guys. I mean,
Wait, please tell me it's the small motherfucker.
It was when they finally was about to cut the small guy's head off, and then all of a sudden, this new fucking creature emerged, and he was the combination of all the fucking other demons. Because I ain't gonna lie, bro, they was kind of fake pushovers. Because I was like, man, these niggas ain't struggling half as much as they was against, in the district, and that was like a lower level demon than them. Like I was like, this shit ain't adding up, man. I don't know what's up with Muzan's rankings.
I literally think they're ranked higher because they're just mad fucking annoying. Like they're not even
super,
that strong.
Super hard to kill.
Mad annoying. Yeah. Like you hate them. Like, but they're not gonna fuck you up. Like, you know what I mean?
God, the jar guy, I don't know how to feel about him. I mean,
the jar guy.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
He was the 5th. He was like mad extra. He like came out of a vase.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember this guy.
Got that nigga's name, but like he used fish and he trapped the mist Hashira in like this water cube, and he was so casually almost died. Like I'm thinking the whole time, like, oh, he definitely has a way to get out of this. This is why he's just been chilling, not doing nothing this whole time. That nigga waited for him to walk into the cabin to fuck around with the people who were sharpening the sword, and then like he just was like, all right, I have air in my lungs still. I got to use this move. He used it. It didn't work. He was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm dying then. I was just like,
I guess.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, what's going on? But I guess it was a character development moment, you know.
Mm.
I'll tell you this, like, the Hashira are very mortal. Like, they aren't...
Yeah.
It's just that everybody else is so incompetent in the Demon Slayer verse. And the funny thing is they make a point of that in the Hashira training arc. They got the niggas as fodder, and you know the best they can be is support, which is important. But I thought it was really funny the way the series kind of reconciled that.
Yeah.
So was there ever anybody who just like, I don't know, like a character who was like a side character that got some shine? Has there ever been something like that in Demon Slayer?
It depends what you consider a side character. The first side characters, in my opinion, that come to mind are the beast breathing boar kid. I forget his name.
Inosuke.
And Inosuke, and Zenitsu. When I think of side characters, I think about those two immediately. But
really,
you think count the Hashira as side characters?
Well, they are side characters,
I guess. Do you count the Hashira as side characters?
No, okay. I guess what I mean is like, so when I think of like not in the main cast.
So maybe that kid, I forget his name, but he's just that regular kid that hangs around in the Hashira training arc or something. He shows up first in that spider or something arc. And then he gets a bigger role.
Oh, that's something. Yeah.
No, you're talking about the swordsman.
Yeah, he's one of the Demon Slayer kids. But he's not a Hashira. He's just like one of the.
Oh, the zombie guy? No, not the zombie. Not the demon kid.
No, he's just a regular guy, basically.
I
just don't remember his name.
And he reappeared in the Hashira training arc and served the purpose.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't remember his name, I don't think it's worth me like going crazy about it.
I mean, there's definitely some. I mean,
I think it would make sense for like some bland kind of character to work his way up. You know what I mean? Somehow, but everybody has like special colored hair. Like they all stick out like a sore thumb. So there's not like an average person who fought hard to get up there.
No,
you know what I mean, which I think would have helped the series a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
it didn't help that Tanjiro absolutely is the chosen one, without a doubt.
Tanjiro,
he's got the juice.
The chosen one.
He does got the juice. It's true. Tanjiro got smoke for everyone, dude. Yeah. He doesn't give a fuck.
Tanjiro's a problem.
Yeah. I do think
Tanjiro is a problem in his verse.
But
I think if you put Tanjiro in any other verse and he got the chance to learn like chakra or Tryon a motherfucking a spirit curse energy, like he would be a beast.
Wait,
Yeah.
I think he would crush it in World Trigger. Oh my god. Like he's such I feel like his whole thing, his whole style is perfect for World Trigger.
Yeah, he'd be an attacker with the
Yeah, the way he's thoughtful too.
He's so thoughtful about the way he swings, and like he could get so much use out of so much shit in World Trigger.
Yeah, he'd be good on the unit.
Yeah. One thing.
Okay, wait. Sorry to interrupt. What rank would he be in World Trigger? Like in terms of like, you know, A2, you know what I mean?
He'd be a B rank. I don't know.
If he already was established.
You think he'd be a B rank?
Yeah, he'd be high B rank.
Yeah,
really?
He's in the upper high.
You know why? His teammates wouldn't be, well, I don't know what Chris says, but his teammates wouldn't be super elite. He'd be the best on his team, and he'd be carrying.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is that I don't know how much reference we really have for what makes an A rank agent. We're about to find out.
That's a good point.
You know, like we're about to find out the disparity between B ranks and A ranks in the upcoming arc. So, but I think Tanjiro, he would make his way up to A eventually. I don't think he doesn't have the potential to hit an A rank. But I think I think he'd be a pretty high B for a while.
Okay, what about a solo?
A top 20 attacker.
What about he's solo rank?
Yeah, but yeah, he's a top 20 attacker.
You know what's crazy?
No, maybe not top 10.
I would put him right at or right under. What's the kid? The kid that could sleep and memorize.
Murakami?
Murakami.
I would put him right under Murakami.
He's the fourth ranked attacker.
So you know what?
Damn.
I think Tanjiro could be a top 10 attacker. I think he'd be like a top 10 attacker. He's probably on par with somebody like, because he has Tanjiro is fundamentals and instincts. So that's why I feel like, all right, I think that more even comparison would be him and Ikoma.
I was literally about to say that. I
think they would be on even footing because I think Ikoma would be just a little bit more talented. But I think Tanjiro would have like a much better like fundamental base.
I think Ikoma is number 6.
Yo.
Yeah, I got respect for Tanjiro.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's elite in World Trigger.
Elite.
He's getting packed up by Yuma though. I want to be very clear about that. I ain't gonna lie, Yuma's packing up almost everybody in that version.
Yuma's an A rank.
I mean, Muzan is a problem. Don't get me. Muzan's a problem, but and the Iron Ball dude is really really strong. The Earth Hashira, I think the Stone Hashira.
Yeah.
That nigga would be S rank. I mean, he would be at A rank.
Yeah. Well, all right.
All right. I guess we should get into our stuff. Huh?
Yeah, we should do the real show unless Brian has something he wants to bring up.
Okay. Sorry to keep going on Demon Slayer, but after reading like different types of manga from different kind of, I guess, time periods, like Inuyasha and shit like that, I feel like Demon Slayer has some of the weirdest like arc structures that I've read among them. Because I feel like it's like Josh mentioned, it's typically like one encounter. There's one fight going on for an entire arc, essentially. So it kind of feels like a sports manga in that way, where it's like you know what I mean? Like there's just one fight that's going on for a really fucking long time.
He gets to the point.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of slice life in between.
Yeah, and then you're right back
on the battle.
Like every arc is just one long encounter. Like Tanjiro shows up, He's typically fighting one guy or something like that, one opponent, and that kind of encounter kind of carries on through the entire arc. So it kind of feels like a sports manga when you think about it from that kind of lens, where most like shonen arcs have a bunch of different shit going on. Like look at One Piece. Like there are so many moving parts to every like arc in One Piece, where it's like massive expanding chaos all over the place and usually stretches over long periods of time. Like with Demon Slayer, it's one really fucking long 1v1.
Yeah.
Or you know, squad team play thing. So it almost feels like a sports manga to me, the way that those arcs are constructed.
Yeah, and the way that it's like a lot of Demon Slayer is like a big training arc, and then demons attack. And that would be kind of like the game in a sports manga. But yeah, I see where you're coming from, Ryan.
Yeah, it's sword sports. Sword sports.
The sword sport.
He gets to the point in his arcs. He sets it up, dresses up a little bit, that goes in for this long, drawn out battle.
Yeah, it's just simple. It's just simple. It's to the point. I think it's a very direct story, you know, and I mean that in the best way possible. I really like Demon Slayer for that. You know, he doesn't fuck around, you know. All right, are we ready to get into the main show?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1159. The Island of Fate. We have a little bit of a Yamato update. Yamato and his crew are now walking through walking through the snow and munching on apples, and they're on their way back to the flower capital. So yay, that'd be fun. We then cut to the main story. We're back in the flashback, the big old Rocks era flashback / Harold. How did Harold die? Flashback. We cut to the pirate island full of lead 39 years ago, and we see that that Don Marlin, one of Rox's original crewmates, was killed, and not only that, Shocky has been kidnapped, and the crime just happened within the window of a few hours, and nobody knows who did it. Everybody's crying except for I think this guy's name is Zhang Lei. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm blanking on him now. Because this guy is the one that eventually Marshall D. Cheech will kill. Dang, I gotta know this guy's name. Wang Zhe, I want to say his name is. One Piece. Wang Shi. So yeah, everybody is crying except for Wang Shi, who is counting money, implying that Wang Shi is a traitor and sold out Shocky to the world government. But it's never explicitly said. But the news travels fast around the world. Roger gets a glimpse of it, and he is pissed off. Rayleigh is actually shaking in his boots because the lady that he is not committing to, but still likes her, is missing. So, yeah, it's not looking good. We then cut to a year later. In God Valley, we see that Figureling does return to God Valley to see his kids, and the mother of Shanks and Shamrock are like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. I knew you'd be back, Shamrock, Shanks. This is your father." And Shamrock and Figureland is like, "Oh, you had twins? They're adorable." And she's like, "Yes, and you're the father. Now you can live with me here." And man, Figureland is like, "Oh, if they're living anywhere, it won't be here. This island will cease to exist soon." And he goes on to explain that he he already has a special ordered wife who is befitting, and all he has to do to make her his is to win this competition. And then he does a stabby stab on Shanks and Shamrock's mom. Um, and at that point, that's when the Marines start to swarm God Valley. And we meet a nice rookie pirate, a nice rookie Marine going around just asking, is like, wait, what are we doing here? What's the purpose of this operation? And the his superior is like, you're in it's training and you're in no position to ask questions, Rook. So everybody's going around shooting civilians, and this new recruit is like, what? But what are we doing? They look like normal civilians to me. And the Marine shoots back, stop thinking individual, stop thinking individual thoughts only distract from the will of the group, focus on completing the mission. And we find out that the young Marine is none other than Monkey D. Dragon in his first year as a Marine. You were going to say something, Josh?
Nah.
Oh, I feel like one of these is in order. Monkey D. Dragon. So, yeah, Dragon, starts pointing his gun at civilians. He's like, okay, it's fine. They're tranquilizer rounds. I'm not killing anyone. And, he asks the citizens to just like allow them to arrest them and they won't have to shoot. But the citizens of God Valley do not take kindly to that. So Dragon knocks them out with the tranquilizer darts. And in the distance, he sees that they're using tear gas. And Dragon, we can already see that on his first big mission as a Marine, he's already getting a little disillusioned with what's happening here. We then cut to a Navy prison ship that is carrying slaves, and we meet some familiar faces, specifically Guinea and Ivankov, who are on the ship and on their way to God Valley, which we already know how that works out for them. Kuma is also on this ship. One familiar face that we do see is a very young Morgans at Cypher Pole, and he is explaining that he has some interesting intel. And even the Cypher Pole agents are like surprised at how connected Morgans is, even as a child at this point. And it's interesting. Morgan seems to have had his devil fruit for a very long time. Seeing as how he's still a Birdman, but pretty cool. He's like,
and he stays in that form on purpose.
Yeah, he stays in that form to I guess hide his identity, which is pretty effective. If you look like a bird, no one's gonna find out what you really look like.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
That's entirely why he is constantly a bird in his man beast form. But yeah, one of the Cypher Pole agents is like, be careful, we'll snuff out your intel network. And Morgan's like, just try it. And he's like, either way, I'm leaking this to Pirate Island. So, typical big news Morgan playing the same role.
He literally changed history in this moment.
Yes. Morgan's is the inciting incident that probably sets most of the dominoes of One Piece falling. Who would have known? So yeah, after leaking the intel to Pirate Island, all of the pirates on Full Allied learned that Shaki is still alive, and Wang Shi is very suspicious looking. He's like, "What? How do you know? What? You sure about your source there?" Huh? And so all the pirates are getting fired up to go save Shaki. Whitebeard is like, it must be the manhunt. I thought it was just a tall tale. And Big Mom is interested in going to collect some devil fruits for Kaido and her kids. And Streusen is like, are you sure this is not a trap? And Rox is like, shut up. If you're not committed, stay here. The rest of us are going to God Valley. And of course, we see that Roger and the Roger Pirates learn about this. Everybody there is fired up to save them as well. And that also leads to Garp wanting to go so he could fight Roger. We then cut over to back to Rox's ship as he's making his way towards God Valley when he comes across a giant ship. And Harold is on this ship. He's there tasked to take down Rox in the event that he runs into him at sea. And Harold explains to Rox that there are government boats surrounding them, making sure that he actually fights them and kills them. And Rox tells him, like, and you think this is winning points with the world government? Does it please you to serve the government that sits on a comfortable perch and watches us destroy each other? I suppose it does, because you're a madman who wants to change Elbaf no matter what. Now, can we talk in private? And bro, the lore drops here are insane. So
yeah, I need your help with this. So.
Okay. So right. Rox and Harold step aside and have a private conversation. Not even Rox's crew is privy to this. And Rox explains that he's about to tell Harold something that not even his own crew knows. And the truth is, Rox has a hidden name. His surname, his family name Rox, is not even his real name, it seems. His real name is Davy D. Zebek.
Okay.
Davy D. Zebek is a clan that Rox suspects suspects that the government is trying to cover up, and he's one of the descendants of the legendary pirates Davy D. Jones.
Davy Jones.
Yeah, Davy Jones. Literally Davy Jones.
Finally, Davy Jones.
Okay, hold on. I don't know if you're gonna get to this, but isn't Hody Jones connected to Davy Jones?
Ooh.
Because he was a pirate from back then that went.
No? I think it's maybe a coincidence, because Jones, in theory, Jones would be Davy D. Jones's first name. The Davy is the family.
Davy is the family. Oh, Hody Jones.
Oh, right.
No, he's Davy Zebek.
I got it mixed up anyway. Hody Jones is the fish pirate guy. I thought
he's the fishman.
Then what's the dude's name? Right. Beckham? What's the dude? The guy that could, like, he had like the target fruit. He was able to throw shit.
His name is dang, why am I blanking on him now?
It's some stupid ass name.
It's not anything to do with
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, hold on. Damn it. One Piece.
Oh, I know the name, but I'm not. Well, can I say it?
Shoot. I almost have it. Vanderdecken.
Never mind.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. No, but Davy.
I was bugging. Okay, Davy Jones.
Davy Jones.
This is the first time.
It's the first time. Well, we know of that there is a Davy Jones in One Piece canonically up to this point, but at this point we did not know that there was a whole clan, and Davy D. Jones was kind of like a big time pirate that that has descendants, and that Rox is one of them. And it's funny because, like, at the start of this, Rox has declared himself a follower of Davy Jones, so I guess that was our first hint. Like, of course, he's the follower. It's like that's his like great grandpa or some shit. But yeah, he explains that like they took root in the criminal underworld and continued to eke out a living even today. So his family doesn't do well because obviously they're connected to such a fucking notorious guy. So they had no fucking chance. They have to be kind of criminals, and they try to like live. And Rox continues to explain that his timing was either great or terrible, because 2 years ago he had a kid, as was alluded to last chapter. And to make sure that nobody would ever come after them, Rox sent his kid and his wife over to his homeland to seek the Davy clan for help. And Harold is like, well, why would you tell me this? Like this is like a pretty big weakness that I can exploit. And Rox explains that his home is God Valley.
Holy fuck.
Golly, man. So Harold is like, wait, so does that mean this whole thing is just to lure you into their clutches? And Rox is like, nah, the celestial dragons are going to be there. They definitely don't want me there. This was a mistake that this got out to me. More like big news, Morgan. But yeah, he's saying that it feels as though this is some great act of fate, and you know, this is all just like coming together in such a crazy way. And he's like, kidnapping Shaki was their fatal mistake. As long as my wife and kid escape, I don't care about the rest. Whoever side fortune is on, Harold, it doesn't feel like mine. So lend me your aid. And Harold says, no, I'd refuse. I'd rather sink your ship right now. And they separate, and as they're separating, Harold actually tells his crew not to attack Rox, and Rox in turn burns down Harold's ship.
He had to sell that they fought.
Yeah, I think that was
what it
was that kind of
clearly.
Like, he didn't want to take down Rox. He wanted to let him go, but he had to build plausible deniability for the government that were watching him. But anyway, the manhunt is proceeding. It's not looking good. A lot of citizens are captured, and we do get the revelation that Shaki is indeed there, and she is one of the prizes that you can get if you win the God Valley tourney.
I bet they don't know she smokes cigarettes.
That would ruin it. Now they wouldn't want her. She should just say it. You should just be like, I smoke cigarettes.
They would execute her on the spot.
For real. We do see Somers is there as one of the celestial dragons yells at him to bring her into the family. And Somers, being the absolute piece of shit that he is, that we already know, he's like, don't be stupid. If I win, she's my slave. And, Figureland is like, she's my wife. Stop dreaming, Somers. And not only that, Gunko is also there. And she's talking to another person there, and they're explaining that with Gunko there, they might win a trophy in the family competition, whatever that means. We do
is his tongue sticking out on the side?
His tongue is sticking out on the side there.
He's a silly dude, which means you got to take him serious.
Yeah. We do get a small scene of Dragon appearing inside this pantry area, and this woman is begging him to get her children off this island and to not let him have them. This is pretty clearly Shanks's mom, as she is stabbed and bleeding. And she's the only one we saw get stabbed. And we do see a baby Teach with his family, with his mom, I guess. And they explain that, and the chapter ends with the announcer saying that in addition to the Buccaneer boy, Kuma, serving as the super rare rabbit in this contest, we also have another target who's been found at last after 800 years, the Davy clan. So Roxanne's entire family is there. And yeah, it's going to be crazy. Wow, what a chapter. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1159?
I really appreciate you guiding me through these lore drops. It made it that much better of a chapter. So good, in fact, that it is my RGC.
I think it's mine as well.
RGC.
Right? Yo, Unified. Really good chapter of the week for One Piece.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Yeah. The fact that it's the Davy clan, I don't think is super significant lore wise. More that it explains that these are people that are clearly an enemy to the celestial dragons, and that what's his name just so happens to be part of. I just feel like the Davy clan isn't that important. It's just kind of a means to an end. Am I articulating that properly? Do you understand what I'm saying, guys?
I know what you mean.
Like,
I know what you're saying.
it's not like this whole the Davy, it's just like, okay, so legendary pirate shit. Clearly, the celestial dragons would hate them because they were pirates from back then. Right. I do wonder what his connection to Joy Boy or whatever was, or if they were even from the same eras, etc., etc. But Davy was what, the first pirate? Is that what
we don't know.
They explained?
The first pirate is Joy Boy. So Davy is the first pirate, and Davy would probably be Joy Boy. And
that would be interesting.
I'm just gonna say it. I think Davy Jones was Joy Boy.
Well, yeah, because would that make Garp a descendant from God Valley too? Is he from the?
No.
Because he has the D. No, it's
not everybody
Jones.
with the D is from Davy. Because
no, it's from Davy. I mean,
yeah, Davy is the last name, is the family name, but Rox also has a D. It's Davy D Zebek.
So the D is something separate from.
Yeah. So what if D stands for Davy, and it's basically like every pirate is a part of this clan, this secret clan that's meant to overthrow like the world government.
Davy Zebek.
I mean, I could see Otis is making that the name.
Wait, I think that might be it. I'm not gonna lie, like, because Joy Boy was the first pirate. Right? Joy Boy is not his actual name. That's his pirate name. So he could be Davy Jones, who founded the D clan, which is Davy.
Possible. It is possible. Davy Zebek. Monkey Davy Jones. Monkey Davy Garp. Monkey Davy Luffy.
Well, it's not like that. It's like, it's more like Phase clan, you know what I mean?
I don't know what that means. I actually don't know what that means.
Like, you're part of a gaming, like optic, like, you know what I mean? So it's not like you're saying
by bonds, not by blood.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not actually part of their name. It's just their association with the clan, essentially.
Well, either way, just to wrap up my thoughts. I mean, I'm the only thing I can think about is like, how far is this flashback gonna go? Well, we already talked about like whether, like, I think most of us agreed. Definitely, Chris and I agreed that they probably should have God Valley as its own separate like flashback too, just to kind of, not put too much all jam packed in this. But at the same time, I don't see why. I mean, they're building up so much to it. They got to show us what happens, man. This is it.
Yeah,
that's what I think. That's my prediction. I'm okay with it too.
I want to know so bad.
Yeah. Wow, I did not expect this to be the result of finding out how Harold died. I did not think that it was gonna be this deep at all. Whatever, Brian. What's your thoughts on this chapter?
I have an observation.
Okay.
Shanks and Blackbeard were born on the same fucking island.
Yeah.
And then they would meet again later in life. Like as children again. They would meet up again when the Whitebeard pirates clash with the Roger pirates way back in that Wano flashback.
Right. Teach is older than Shanks.
Only by a little bit. He's like maybe 2 years older than him.
Yo, so he's grown. Like when he was like facing off with Luffy, when he was on that island when they first met, that wasn't like Luffy's like peer. That was like his senior.
Blackbeard's older than Luffy. Yeah, Teach is older
he's
than
experienced.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So they're not on even footing. They shouldn't.
But here's
That's
another
cool.
interesting thing. Shanks, like they're both from two completely different backgrounds. Shanks was born from a celestial, essentially a celestial dragon, and Blackbeard is the child of the person who wants to destroy all celestial dragons, essentially. So it's like they were just born to hate each other, essentially. Like,
but they don't have any real beef.
Yeah, Shanks hates him. Shanks is like has beef with Blackbeard.
He does have beef with Blackbeard. Blackbeard gave him the scar on his eyes.
What?
You
a
didn't know
long
that?
time ago, right? Like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But before Shanks was an emperor.
Yeah. He did it.
This was revealed before the Paramount War, I think.
Yeah, they mentioned that Blackbeard gave him the scars, so he's had that since even before he met Luffy. So something happened in their youth.
Yeah, probably during the fight with against Roger and Whitebeard. That's probably when it happened.
Nope, Shanks still didn't have a scar back then. He was still a little kid. It was in between that time, so they must have met again on the seas. Maybe after Roger was executed.
Yeah, while he was still with Whitebeard's crew, though.
Mm-hmm.
Teach. Interesting.
Pretty fucking crazy.
All these connections. And then there's Moria. Kozuki Moria.
Kozuki Moria.
Real nigga alert.
Were those all your thoughts, Josh?
Oh, no, it was my thoughts.
Oh, it was Brian's thoughts. I thought we were still on Josh.
Man, seeing Dragon out here, I like how they gave a little reminder after we first saw Dragon that like of everybody else who's on the island right now. They're just like, and you see Dragon, so let us remind you that Ivankov and fucking Kuma are also here. So it kind of gets you assuming, oh yeah, this is when the revolution is really gonna fucking start. Because two of the top commanders of the revolution are on the same island. Three of them.
Dragon, Ivankov, and Kuma were all on God Valley.
They all saw the same shit and they're like, oh nah, something's gotta change. Whatever is going to happen here is gonna change these guys' entire fucking lives.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Rox is about to pull up and turn shit up, but this is where he dies at God Valley, right? This is
that's
what they say.
Story. But he dies at God Valley.
Man, like the more you think about Dragon here, because Dragon is probably the most dangerous person on this island in like when it comes to the world government. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So this was the birth because he's the most wanted man in the world in this current juncture. And there are some badass motherfuckers out there. So whatever happened on God Valley created their worst fucking enemy because they didn't even treat Rox like that, did they?
Well, Rox was just a pirate to them at this point, and he dies here. So,
but he invaded Mary Joelle and got to.
He dies here. He gets killed.
They covered all of that shit up. Probably they didn't want nobody knowing that a pirate.
Yeah, the story is
Mary Joelle.
Yeah, the story is that Roger killed him, but I've heard on the streets, and I'm inclined to kind of agree that it's possible that they didn't even fight him. And that was like a manufactured story.
Holy.
Because I don't even see Roger really wanting to kill Rox at this point. Like they beef
but he's not there because Rox is going. He's there because he found out where Shocky is. Yeah.
And Rox wouldn't get in the way of that. So interesting. Interesting stuff.
Unless he gets Domini reversied.
That's a good point. But I'm inclined to believe that the members of the D clan can't be turned evil.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you might be right.
Dude, if Rox is an agent, he ain't even have no fruit power. He's just mad. He's just a real lad. He's just real. Just like Roger.
Yeah.
It's cool. I thought he had the chop fruit. That would have been dope, but it's okay. It's all right.
People thought he had the op fruit.
Maybe he gets the fruit on the island before he dies or whatever. Whatever.
I have one more thing.
Yeah, go for it, Brian.
I feel like this guy Garling is so unsettling. He for some reason, even though he has such a like, I don't know, normal design when it comes to One Piece, like no over the top, aside from the hair.
Except for his hair.
Yeah, except for the hair, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's no over exaggerated features aside from his hair. Like he looks like Shanks.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that feels so weird about him, like uncanny. Like he feels kind of like a vampire when I'm looking at him. Like he makes me feel uncomfortable looking at him, which is very odd because there's very like simple differences that he adds to him. You know what I mean? Like somebody with that much of ridiculous hair having such a stoic and like like almost monstrous kind of attitude to him. And the eyes also.
He has to wake up and style that every day. He has to
like,
make
I don't know, man. That guy creeps me the fuck out whenever I see Garling. But those are my thoughts.
Oh boy. I love this chapter so much. I mean, this is the lore I've been waiting for, baby. It's just so much lore. Yeah, just so many of the stories that we've heard about God Valley being possibly false. You know, like especially Roger and Garp defeating him. It's still possible that both of them could fight Rox and kill him, but I don't think that's the case. I think Roger is just there for a completely different reason. And there's no reason for Rox to get in the way of anybody trying to save Shocky because his only goal is to protect his family. Which nobody knows about. So it's a, you know, I think it'd be interesting. I think a cool turn of events is that, you know, although they are told that Roger and Garp tried to actually killed Rox, it would be a cool turn of events is that both of them actually end up helping him, but like failing to save him in a way. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think that would be a very interesting twist. Seeing Dragon there was super cool. We called that. I think most of the community did though, so I'm not going to take too many points. Is that whatever Dragon song God Valley is what radicalized him. I do love that this is actually kind of one of his first few days as a Marine, and this is probably going to be he's already like noped out, you know. After this, he's just going to be like, peace, this sucks. I've only been here for like 2 weeks and I'm not doing this shit. Yeah, it's very cool that like the top 3 revolutionary captains are there, but they don't meet until way later. I think it's just like an interesting turn of events. I wonder if that's what they bond over at the start. Is that
really? Shit. They don't meet until that far?
No,
because Dragon and Ivankov don't meet here.
No, because Ivankov. Well, as far as we know, maybe they do cross paths, but we know that Ivankov and Kuma leave together with Guinea.
Ivankov goes with him.
Yeah, and then Ivankov goes on his own. But they don't. But as far as we know, they don't meet Dragon here, unless like maybe they cross paths a little bit later. We didn't see the whole incident. But it's cool how that works out. He's much older than them. It's very cool. He's like the big brother. They came in is like, yeah, I saw what happened there. I got your back. Morgan's was a very cool addition. I've always loved Morgan's design. Even now as like a skeezy little child selling information on the Jeep. I'm very interested in what made this guy, like to have a child this jaded where he's going around just like selling government secrets already at the tender age of 15, I think he's supposed to be at this point. Um yeah, I'm so interested.
Sad part is, I don't think we'll ever know. I don't think we'll ever know about him.
Incoming Morgan's flashback in the next arc in Lodestar. He's gonna be super sad. It's gonna be. Did you know this cool bird is sad?
Is Lodestar right before?
Lodestar is one of the last few islands before Raftel. We don't know if it's the second to last island, but it's like one of the last few. Whether we'll go there or not remains to be seen. But yeah, this is just cool. I loved this lore drop. I didn't expect from Rocks. It isn't the first time that a character has changed their name to evade the government. Law has done it as well, and his family, hiding the D in their name. It is very cool. Having his home be God Valley is a great twist after great twist. I love learning about Rocks and just the subversion of what we knew about Rocks versus him being just kind of a really good guy. What else? Or not a good guy, but like a very human person. He's not just this monster. He has room in his heart for love, and he does genuinely care about his family more than most dads in this series, to be honest. A lot of dads in this series are absent or whatever, but I think he and Dragon are similar in that way, where Dragon left Luffy behind so that nobody would know about him. And Rocks did the same, but incidentally, they're going to learn about him. I like that Harold let him go. I think that was kind of a nice thing. I just can't wait. I'm so glad there's not a break this week, because we're going to get some more goodness there. Seeing Baby Teach is kind of heartbreaking, to be honest.
Yeah. I can't help but think about that SOS page.
Which one?
Or SBS, whatever. Yeah. What is it called?
SBS.
When it showed the kid versions of the of the, I forget what it was called, the Warlords, and then Teach was like alone. He had like a tear in his eye, and it was like a moon in the sky or something like that. It was like a crescent moon, huh?
Because he can't sleep.
Is that confirmed? Like, I feel like I keep asking you that. Who confirmed that? When?
In Wano, when Buggy and Shanks are talking about Teach when they first meet him, and Buggy tells Shanks that like Teach didn't sleep the entire night, and he didn't sleep like the last 2 nights. They were all like they were fighting for 3 days, 3 nights, and Teach didn't sleep at all.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, this is sad. We know Teach is this monster that just kind of like manipulates behind the scenes and has caused so much chaos. But man, I mean, when your family is the subject of a manhunt at the tender age of 2 years old, that'll do stuff to you.
Yeah, maybe that's why he was crying, because his whole clan got murdered. Is he Sasuke?
He might be Sasuke. One more thing. I think Dragon is going to somehow get Shanks onto Roger's ship. I think he's going to try to save them both, but through circumstance, he's going to somehow get them on Roger's ship, or whatever he does to try and save Shanks and Shamrock. It will incidentally lead them to either Roger's ship or Figureland gets a hold of Shamrock. I'm very curious to see how that goes. It is very cool as how like Shanks will later save Luffy his Luffy's dad once saved him. So,
man, oh, this arc is so fucking good. Fuck, God Valley. How did he do it? Like, we were already so interested in it, and now there's just layer after layer. There's just infinite layers right now. There's just too many. Like, I can't reach the fucking core with how many fucking layers to the story there is right now. Oh my God. It's like there's a million revelations you can make off of this.
Mm-hmm.
God, how does he fucking do it? I forget he's the GOAT sometimes.
Oda decided to cook this week. He saw that we didn't give him the RGC a few weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And he's like, you want you?
He's like, hold up. Now let me just fucking blow your fucking mind real quick.
You guys gonna stop disrespecting me today? And it's all of this is because Big News Morgan was being a greedy little child.
He's just like, I'll make some quick bucks.
Yeah, but that's all I gotta say about One Piece. It's so good, this chapter. I'm so excited for what comes next.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Sakamoto Days. With that, I'm gonna pass this one to Josh.
Thanks, Chris. I usually don't cover Sakamoto Days, but Kagurabachi's on a break, and Chris got a pretty big haul, so here I am. Last week, I think last week we got the start of the fight with Lu Ting. What's her name again?
Lu.
Yeah, with Lu and Granny. And also we got a little bit of the action between the sniper kid with the wrestler and the magnetic check. His hands is full right now, but this chapter is mainly about Lu and their fight with this deadly police officer and his Sasumata. That's a Japanese police weapon. It's like a long fork. We established that last week as well. Mm-hmm. So he's approaching Lu and Granny, and she's like, Lu's trying to get into her drunken mode, and I guess she realizes she ran out of the beer that she was drinking, and that she just threw up also. So without the drunken power, she has no chance against this police officer. He's giving her the business. He's Sasumata-ing her up. She's getting Sasumata.
Yeah,
that's what we're going on. Yeah. So, she's getting worked so bad that Granny has to pull up and kick the gun away because she almost got shot in her fucking face.
No, she got shot in her leg.
She did in the process. Yeah, but she kicked the gun away. Like, I think she kicked it like away from Lu. Whatever. I think she just blocked the bullet. You're right. She tells Lu, "Yo, get your fucking head in the game." what's going on?
Lock in.
She's like, lock in or get the fuck out of here. But now she tells her to go. As Lu gets Sasumata again. God damn, yo. This weapon is a fucking menace. And he's like, Lu. So Lu's desperate at this point. She's like, there's no way I'm gonna win without getting drunk. So she sees a car driving down on the highway that she's what's the word I'm looking for? Hanging over, like on the sign that she got Sasumata to. That shit has good launching power, huh? Anyway, she peeps a lady that had a beer. She's about to crack that shit open, and she yanks that shit out her hand while they're driving. And right as she's about to drink that shit, which is a low percent alcohol, by the way, this shit gets shot out of her hand. Second.
I wanted to mention this fucking dialogue with the two people.
Yeah.
He said, drink already. He said, "Oh, I'm a total alcoholic. You know, deep down, a schlubby old pig."
What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that
Like,
was so random. Why would she say that?
You know, it reminded me of like a Tim Robinson sketch where it would just be it's like, I used to be a real piece of shit.
I just don't know why he makes
the other day.
I don't know why he makes civilians just so fucking like demented. Like all of them are always so unadjusted. It's insane.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm a total alcoholic. You know, I'm deep down. I'm just a schlubby old pig."
She says, "You know."
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah, you're right. That did happen.
Shit, I'm sorry. I just had to say because she was so stupid.
That did happen. So anyway, yeah, she snatched the fucking alcohol out of the alcoholic's hand, the schlubby pig, and it ends up being light booze. So she was talking all that shit for nothing. She should not be so hard on herself.
It's nothing
For all of that. Anyway, yeah, like I said, it gets shot out her fucking hand. This cop is good. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not gonna let you do it. And right when she's about to get Sasumara again, Granny pulls up and pokes her back. I thought she got hit with the Kakashi special.
Yeah, me too.
I forgot the name of the move, but I was like, wow. Yeah, 1,000 years of death. But I guess it was just a nerve in her back or something that she ends up hitting. That apparently she activated an acupressure point that hyperboosts her alcohol absorption. Brian, could you see if that's a real thing while I continue?
No, it's not. I guarantee you it's not.
You know, Brian, for shits and giggles, could you please Google it real fast?
Like I said, I guarantee you.
I know it's not.
I promise.
It's giggles.
Don't
Could you
even
please just
bother.
Google it just real fast, just to see
He said, don't even
if there's
entertain
any
this
medical
shit.
basis.
I don't know what's
Looking
worse,
it
that or the particle.
The particle is still crazier.
Oh my god! Yeah,
This is like a very anime manga thing. The pressure point, you know, pressure points do everything.
Acupuncture does not directly affect the rate or level of alcohol absorption from the digestive system, but rather influences the brain's response to alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah. Isn't
That's
that crazy?
Wow.
It can reduce alcohol cravings.
Oh, it's supposed to do the other way. It's supposed to make you like
they
drunk.
lied. She used a reverse swirl from Dandadan.
Yeah,
That's what she did. Yeah. Anyway, that's called synthesizing. So whatever. She gets the acupressure that helps her get drunk fast, and off of literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 drops of alcohol, she gets drunk and quite literally starts beating the dog shit out of this police officer like he was absolute fodder, like he was a civilian.
bro. She pushed him into traffic.
She broke the Sasumara. She said, there's enough of that. Enough of that. You know, it's funny. I didn't realize how many times like she got hit with that shit. So now the fact that like I'm rereading this and seeing that she broke it is like, yeah, I get it. It was necessary. It was very, very necessary. So yeah, she snaps that, and like I said, she snaps on him. She gives him the fucking Chinese palm, and he rebounds off a fucking car. And then she follows up with a knee to the fucking neck. How's that? How's that, police officer? And then she starts talking that shit because she's real saucy. She picks up his gun. Says, "You sure to leave us alone, I'll spare you." I don't know. I think she's gonna shoot him still. He's like, I can't understand why the police officer's like, I can't understand why you nut jobs would fight so hard to live a quiet, normal life. because they're not psychopaths. Well, you know, when Lou's not drunk anyway. Um, she's like, "Shut up! I asked you a fucking question." Puts the gun up to him. And he's like, in the movies and manga, you see a lot of villains who want eternal life. If you ask me, those guys are real losers. Without life, without the risk of pain or death, sounds dull as hell. I guess I would never know.
Yeah. I wish
he then uses the gleam of his badge on his hat.
No, it's on his. No, it's a badge on his vest.
Oh, on his vest. I see. It's in literally the last picture. Yeah. And he blinds her for a quick moment for him to snatch the gun out of her hand. He shoots at her. She dodges. She looks so fucking cool, by the way. It looks like she's in Sue Long form or something.
For real, yeah.
And then in the midst of her dodging, real fast, he handcuffed them two together. He's like, in a split second, the script can flip. Man, isn't this great? Is that a bar? Because he was talking about movies and manga. It's a reach. Anyway, so she's like, damn, and we have a really sudden cut, a very unfortunate cut, over to the magnetic lady saying, hell yeah, the little turd's finally dead, as we see Hisuke whited out and very bloody, knocked out on the ground. That is the end of this week's Sakamoto Days chapter. Brian, what were your thoughts?
This chapter lost me, and had me like, like there were like 4 times this chapter.
Yeah, this was a wild one.
But did that drunk lady make you a little better?
Yeah, it just feels like, I don't know.
I forgot about that. I read that and I was like, what the fuck? I just didn't even think about it after that.
It's just like the 2 moments that saved me this chapter was deep down I'm just a schlubby pig.
Yo, that was I just read that shit. It was like, okay. I truly did not put that much thought I didn't put as much thought into that as I probably should have.
You know, I didn't either. I just caught a glimpse of it again when we were covering it, and I was like, yo, that is a crazy line.
Dude, I was actually dying when I read that.
He was going in. I was not passive aggressive to alcoholic people. Maybe he just broke up with someone that loved to drink. I'm a quote a schlubby pig.
And then this lady fucking comes in and activates her fucking alcohol absorption, and she gets drunk off of a fucking driplet. I was like, okay, bro, really? Really, Sakamoto Days? This is what's going on now? And then the fight breaks out. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll forgive you.
Oh, all right. Just speak.
just let me just fucking, this is Transformers, bro. I cannot take this any more seriously. I have to relax. But this fight and then this whole sequence at the end with the gun, so good. Like, it just absolutely perfect action. But goddamn, this chapter was a roller coaster. Chris, what are your thoughts?
I had so much fun with this chapter. You know, this is what
I'm sorry.
This is something I wanted out of Rock Lee at the end. You know, I wish the Drunken Fist had come back at the end of Naruto, and you know, at least for a little bit. I do love the Drunken Fist as a concept, so this is really fun to watch, and Lou is very entertaining in it. This cop guy is such a good antagonist, and just like kind of the perfect level for Lou. He's not like he's plausibly able to beat her. Like he's someone I could see that Lou can beat, actually. So, I'm enjoying this battle, and I think there are some really cool moments. When she stepped on the fucking I don't know, I forget what this thing is called again.
Sasumara.
The Sasumara. I was like
Sasumata.
I was like, nice. So, there's moments where Sakamoto Days gets me like that, where I'm like, that was fucking sick. But yeah, I don't know what happened with Heisuke. I'm sure he's not dead, and I'm sure this is like kind of a misdirect. But I'm excited to see what happens next time. I'm having a great time with this chapter, and yeah, I got nothing else to say. This was very fun. Deep down, I'm just a schlubby old pig.
Speaking of, I held it down. I wanted to cut you off. Oh, Chris is frozen.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
There we go. I think I figured out what's happening in this scene with the alcoholic women. So notice how he's like, oh, drinking already. I think she's like posing. I think she's acting like, oh, like she loves to drink and shit. Because that's why she had the low alcoholic shit. And I think she was like, oh, I'm just a slubby old pig, because she doesn't know what people who drink all the time say. So she's just trying to act like she knows. Like,
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I always drink. I'm cool. I think that's what was going on.
Wow.
I mean, it's still so fucking
Yeah.
funny because it's like
That's-
mad random. But at least
I don't know why.
there's some
To me, it's
context.
funnier if she genuinely means it about herself.
It's so
I don't know why.
though, if that way.
It really does. Yeah. That's pretty deep character analysis for characters we'll never see again. But I think you may have the point.
That's pretty fire.
All right, I'm ready to move on.
Don't submit to peer pressure. Okay. That was all right. Well, that was Sakamoto Days. Great chapter overall. Let's move onward.
And give me a picnic in the yard. Can't chat.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh my
Modulo.
god.
Modelos.
I
Oh,
forgot we were
boy.
doing this.
Yeah. So Jujutsu Kaisen's back in an unexpected turn of events. It's back with a spin-off, a limited series that's supposed to go for 6 months. We'll see. I believe that, actually. 6 months sequel series to Jujutsu Kaisen. We are picking it up because, we've talked about Jujutsu Kaisen in the past. It was one of the series that we were covering. So why not bring it back for its sequel series? And we're starting with it. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter Modulo 1. We open with the color pages in space. They are 30,000 meters above Nevada, and we get explanation that there's an extraterrestrial life form identifying itself as a Simurian and accompanied by a mothership known as Naunax, carrying
You said a
50,000 of
Serpolian?
its compatriots, and they are seeking sanctuary. No, Simurian. So we're in the spaceship with the Simurians, and there's this main Simurian that's like in the shadows, and he looks super intimidating. And he's like, Japan? What's this all about? I thought the strongest country on this planet was America. And the other aliens are like, that's correct. However, America maintains that all authority regarding diplomatic missions lies with Japan. And this Simurian is just like, I see. And they ask, it's like, oh, did you find something out? And this alien explains that it seems that there are people in Japan who have similar powers to them. And they're like, what? And they say, on this planet, they're called Jujutsu sorcerers. And we get a color page, very cool color page of our protagonists. The chapter continues onward, and we get to meet Yuka Okotsu, familiar name, Yuka Okotsu, age 6, and she is a grandpa's girl. She's always just hanging out with her grandpa, who is, of course, Yuta Okotsu. He's got the little stitches on his head still from the time that he body swapped with Gojo. And he gives, and in this little flashback where Yuka's a kid, we see that Yuta gives Yuka the ring, the Rika ring. And she's like, hey, you wanted it, right? And he's like, the ring will watch you until you're a full-fledged sorcerer, so worked out hard. Yay. And then we see, I guess 4 years later, Yuka is now 10 and Yuta is dead. Very sad. Rest in peace, Yuta. You were fucking badass when you were alive.
I knew you were gonna do that.
I had to. It's customary. It's customary. Every main character who dies gets Mario's sound effect. We then cut to they're at the funeral. They're mourning Yuta, and we immediately cut to some lady, probably Yuka's mom.
You have to do two of them because Maki was also confirmed dead in that sentence.
Not yet. Oh,
yeah,
in this sentence? Oh yeah, you're right. I see it here. Yeah, Maki, who is the grandmother of these kids, and it's nice. Okotsu and Maki got together. That's nice. But she is also dead, and she died first. So rest in peace.
Yeah, the first
Maki.
one was
fucking awesome.
First one was just an order of
I forgot that
production.
I forgot that Maki died. Anyway, Maki and Yuta are dead. Very sad. And I guess this is Yuka's mom commands Yuka to give her the ring because she doesn't need it, and the ring will belong to her brother Tsurugi from now on, who's like a year older than her. And she says that the ring is a cursed object registered to the Gojo's clan, the Gojo clan's cursed warehouse. You have no right to have it, and only Tsurugi is suited for the ring. Yuka goes over to Tsurugi and demands that he gives the ring back, but Tsurugi, who is like, don't look at me, I didn't make the call. And so Yuka decides to square up, but she loses because Tsurugi is a lot stronger than her. And from then on, she decides to train until she can make everybody say that she is the one that's worthy of the ring. We then cut to this crazy warehouse where this random guy is playing video games with the kid, and the kid dies in the game. And he's like, are you sure kids your age should be playing this game? And she's like, why? Because, you died. Isn't that cruel? And the kid says, nah, it's totally normal. Well, I guess if it's okay if it's normal. If it's normal, I guess you won't complain when it happens to you. Very sinister. We then cut to Tsurugi and Yuka going out on a mission with a Jujutsu sorcerer, much like Nanami, but not really Nanami.
Much like Nanami.
And
he's Nanami.
Yeah. He can't be Nanami. Nanami's dead. We've seen Nanami in the spirit world, and he has blonde hair.
It's Nanami, bro.
That is just a cope by people with agendas.
In any case. Tsurugi and Yuka are introduced to their third partner. His is Marulu Valvol Yelvori. But they can just call him Maru. Maru is that alien that we saw earlier very clearly, but they don't know that. He is here under the guise of being a Jujutsu sorcerer from a different country.
Well, they know something.
We get the refresher that we get the refresher that most people What'd you say, Josh?
Sorry. No, I know that the timing is probably a little off. I was
No,
like,
you
they don't know he's an alien, but they know something's off. They're very, very
yeah, they know
off.
something's off.
They're like, nigga, you're not from
Yeah, they're like,
a normal place, are you?
you're not from. Yeah. So Maru seems to be kind of a noob and at Jujutsu, and he very much irritates the Okotsu the Okotsu kids. And he's just like, this is just like a little investigation. We're just trying to find this kid. It's not like we're gonna go up against curse users. And he's just constantly be like, what's a curse user? Why curse user, not Jujutsu sorcerer? Hey. And he's like, they're kind of arguing. And they just yell and it was like, curse users are bad Jujutsu sorcerers. Be quiet, we'll leave you behind. And Maru's like, oh my god, these two are vicious. So yeah, the teacher sorcerer explains that Maru is coming on an official visit representing the state party and to see what Japanese Jujutsu sorcerers are all about. And Maru thinks to himself, is like, yes, I'm going to see what you two are made of. I need to check out Earthlings who share our powers and see if they coexist with us Sumerians. Immediately, Maru lets them know, it's like, hey, no matter what happens, don't rely on me. I've received orders from the higher ups to not interfere. But the kids just leave him behind immediately. And Maru souls on the side of the road or something, but Yuka comes back for him and gets him food. Eventually they just decide to they start talking, and Yuka explains the situation with the ring, that Tsurugi has the ring, and she's under the impression that he took it from her through circumstance, and he just wants to get it back. And she views it as she's not seen as worthy of the ring, and the only reason Tsurugi has it is because people perceive him as much stronger. So Maru comes up with the solution. It was like, hey, why don't we solve this mission together and show everybody just how good you are, and then maybe you'll get your ring back. Yuka says that acting on your own like that is kind of forbidden in our line of work, but I never said I wouldn't do it though. So they go investigating, they go searching around for this kid. Maru is lying down in his back just on the middle of the street, and she's like, well, it looked like nothing's here to an amateur, but she finds exactly what happened. The road they've been on had a physical gaze manipulation and a curse on it, so the sorcerer could lead stray wanderers or children straight down the road that they intended. So yeah, they've basically figured out his little trap. And at that point, that's when Tsurugi actually catches up with them, and he came to the same conclusion. He also says, he goes to Maru, is like, hey, where the hell have you been? Slacking off? And Maru's just like, you didn't even remember you left me. That was a funny moment. So yeah, Tsurugi goes off to go get a tool, and he apologizes to Yuka, and he goes on to explain a little bit of his backstory, and that explains that he also has a kid, a younger twin. He has a younger twin, and they don't get along at all. They've tried to patch things up, but it just never worked out because his brother finds him annoying because he's so clumsy. But it hurts that they can't understand each other, and the thought of it going on forever really hurts. And he just doesn't want Yuka and Tsurugi to end up like him. So Yuka just explains, it just fires back by saying, maybe stop projecting how you think siblings should act because you don't get along with yours. And Maru's like, oh my god, are subtle emotions totally lost on her? And she's like, I don't care about my brother as long as I get that ring back. So they reunite with Tsurugi, and they say that like, if our reading is correct, then the path starts here. So they try to block every path so people, don't come in and fulfill the conditions of the barrier. And just in that moment, a kid just runs through the fucking tape, the caution tape, and he gets taken by this very scary hand curse thing, and it teleports him away. So kid's gone, not great. And Tsurugi figures that they're up against a pretty top tier curse user if they worked spatial transference into a barrier technique. And so Tsurugi draws his blade and he's like, I'm gonna go after that kid. You two report back to Usami. Is Usami like a character in Jujutsu Kaisen? That name sounds familiar. Is he like the lady from the other school, the one with the dance technique thing? I'm trying to remember. I don't know why that just came to my head.
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, they're about to go in, and he's like, you two report back to Usami, and Yuka says like, I'm going with you, and Tsurugi says no, and it's because he's going to prove that he is stronger than her. And it's at that moment the hands come in and grab Tsurugi and teleports him away. But his katana gets left behind because it's a cursed tool. And it's here that we get the revelation that Tsurugi doesn't have any cursed energy. So he may have the heavenly pact.
The heavenly one.
Or the heavenly restriction. Sorry, it's been a while.
Yeah, heavenly restriction.
Yeah. So, he's like, oh, then this is really bad, especially since he went to save that kid. But yeah, Yuka just brushes that off and says, whatever. Let's just do like Tsurugi said and report back to Usami. Then we're done for the day. And Maru is just like, wait, you're not going to help him? He's like, nah, fuck that guy. I've got zero motivation to help him. He's like, but I bet he didn't think his katana would get left behind. Serves him right. Damn.
That's greasy.
Yeah, she's just fully intending to leave him behind. But, Maru is not about that. He's like, we should go get him because if Tsurugi gets killed, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. And Tsurugi might have a change of heart someday, but if he dies now, that'll never happen. So, he basically eventually convinces Yuka to go save him. And we cut back to Tsurugi, who has been transported to where that weird guy is. And Tsurugi is like, so you decided to do this by Jujutsu High, right on Jujutsu Sorcerer's home turf? What a dumbass. And he explains that the villain explains that anyway, I'm gonna quit human trafficking. You're Jujutsu Sorcerer, so I'm sure you heard that aliens have come here. And Tsurugi's like, oh, you must be one of those tinfoil hat people.
One of them weirdos.
Weirdo. Those aliens. And he explains like, nope, I'm telling the truth. The Inspector General declared this extraterrestrial invasion as a special grade incident on par with the attack of Ryom and Sukuna 68 years ago.
I don't know about that, man.
That was pretty crazy.
Ryomen, bro?
Ryomen? He was that guy. But yeah, they explained that ever since the Kyoto Paranormal Security Treaty was enacted, all diplomacy with aliens has been left entirely up to Japan. So, cultural barriers between planets are unavoidable and will lead to huge distortions. I believe aliens will start a war and invade us. So, he explains that I know you're familiar with the culling game that occurred 68 years ago, which prompted the signing of the treaty. Satoru Gojo and Yuji Itadori stopped it, but there's no one like that right now. Nobody's really like that anymore. So, when the world finds
apparently,
when the world finds out how weak sorcerers have become, this shady new energy business will be over, and the value of Japanese citizens will plummet. So I gotta with no way to make money, I gotta call it quits. So his plan is just to sell Tsurugi because he's a sorcerer, and then make his last profit. And Tsurugi's like, "Oh yeah, you plan on selling me and the kid as a set?" It's like, "No, I've already packaged the child." He said, and he reveals that there's like a ton of kids just in these weird fucking plastic sacks or something. And he's like, "Your cursed energy is weak, but you're a sorcerer, so I'll put you up for auction." And they talk shit to each other for a little while, but the villain starts kicking him around. And he's like, "Go ahead and scream at the top of your lungs. No one's gonna come to save you." And just in that moment, someone comes to save him. The door comes launching towards this bad guy, and Yuka and Maru are on the other side, and they explain that Maru used his curse technique, so to speak, to bring harmony to him and to bring harmony to Yuka and the world into harmony. And his curse technique will seek balance and find the person who's an equal match to you, which is basically Tsurugi, because they are biological siblings.
Right.
So, yeah. Tsurugi manages to get out, and Yuka just points at Tsurugi and says, "Let's fight." And Maru's like, "Right now?" And they box for a little while, but eventually Tsurugi just beats Yuka with one hit. And she's like, "Oh, damn, he's so strong. I mean, I already knew that. He worked so hard." And then she just turns to the bad guy. She's like, "You know what? Fuck you. Now I'm after the bad guy." And she uses her curse technique, Savage Jaw Strike, where it's basically Wolf Fang Fist from Dragon Ball, Yamcha. And she starts to beat up the bad guy. The bad guy does this cool teleportation thing. But it's starting to look a little evenly matched. But then Tsurugi grabs his sword and he uses the curse tool Honoyagi. The sparks generated from the scabbard and guard are infused onto the blade. And he uses the new Shadow Star style Bato sword drawing to set fire to the villain's talisman. And Yuka finishes it off with her biting twist. So, the day is saved. All the kids are fine. And, Tsurugi looks over to Yuka is like, "You've gotten stronger, huh? I'll work harder too, so I can give the ring back to you." And we cut back to Tsurugi at age 7, where he was a grandma's boy and he was always around Maki. And Maki explains to him that he's a lot like her, and that he gets stronger with loss. But it's a double-edged sword, so you have to be careful. And he overhears Yuta giving Yuka the ring, and he's like, "I want a ring too." And Maki explains that the ring is a protective charm to ward off danger, and that he doesn't need it because he's strong. But then when he's 11, he gets given the ring because the Gojo clans decided for him that he is going to get the ring, and what he wants is irrelevant. And Tsurugi reads this as people saying that he's too weak to do things without the ring, and he wants to get stronger so that make people say that he doesn't need the ring because he's Maki's grandson.
Right. So is the
it's
whole perspective is flipped.
Yep. Yuka thinks that she doesn't have the ring because people don't see her worthy as it, and Tsurugi believes that he has the ring because everybody thinks he's weak. So that's fun. yeah, the bad guy's like, idiots, you're all idiots, and idiots should just die. And he starts to cast the barrier technique in the room with the kids too, and he's going to try to transfer the kids over to his buyer, but then he gets stopped by Maru, and Maru reveals his third eye on his forehead, and Yuka and Tsurugi look over to him, like, wait, Maru, wait a minute, are you an alien? And that's where the chapter ends. Phew, long chapter, but it is the first chapter.
Yeah.
John, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 1?
All right. It was a cool chapter. I want to get that out the way. Like I enjoyed it. It was a fun read. The characters are kind of cool. All right. That's where like let me just talk. I don't love the art. I know it's a different artist. GG the draw Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be noticeable in the action scenes. I mean, because that's what the series was really rooted in. So, obviously, this is just one chapter or whatever, but like, I just hope this isn't some bullshit. I hope that the art style grows on me. He gets better and better, and that this is a genuinely good story, and that it is built off of the back of the first one in a meaningful way. But I can't help but put that expectation on the series, which means that if it's not, I probably am going to be disappointed, similar to like Boruto, and that's just inevitable. But I'm down to check it out. I mean, I don't know what's good with series boiling down to space gods coming in, but you know, I guess that's the flavor of these days. And I guess when I say that, it's really just Naruto that also had fucking aliens. If I'm being fair. These twins are cool. I mean, Okotsu's kids. All right. So Okotu and Maki got together. I guess Rika held it down. Or it was a polyamorous situation. Maybe they became Muslim. Anyway.
Wait, what do you mean?
You know, Muslims have multiple wives.
No, I mean, like, what do you mean? Who has multiple wives? I think I missed what you said.
Okotu?
No, yeah, Okotsu. Both of these kids are Maki's grandkids and his grandkids.
Yeah, but Rika, you know.
Oh, but Rika's like a monster that he can't have kids with.
You think she gives a fuck about that?
I guess that's fair.
She don't. So, you know, that must have been a very interesting relationship between the three of them. But these kids are here. So Jujutsu sorcerers are even weaker at this point in time. Is that what what came across? Which makes sense because in the Jujutsu Kaisen proper, the sorcerers were generally weaker than like the Heian era sorcerers. Mm-hmm. So that's fine. You know, these aliens don't want to run into Ryomen. I don't care what's said. What is the possibility that cursed energy is actually just chakra, and Boruto and Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo is about to have a crossover? Where are we at on that on a scale of like 1 to 10?
I would hope it's 0, but
0, like a hard, not even 1.
Hard 0. That Boruto will not cross over with Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo.
Would that be the literal worst case scenario?
Yeah.
Would you sacrifice the next 10 seasons of Giants football to not to ensure that never happens?
Sure. That's been my life.
Damn.
What's there to sacrifice? There's nothing to sacrifice. What more can you take from me?
You're hoping in a better tomorrow.
We have no hope.
All right. I don't know. I don't really have too. Honestly, don't have that much more to say about it. It seems okay so far. It didn't. I'll tell you this: it did not have a big draw on me, like a few other series have had from their first chapter. But I mean, it's GG. It's your boy, so I'm definitely gonna give him a chance. There better be a 10 Shadows person. There better be all of these like younger generation people, like newer generation versions. Yeah. A hand clapper. I don't know, bro. I'll even take the Cursed Spirits coming back. Give me the Volcano Man again. People are still scared of that shit, right? Or these volcanoes just don't exist anymore? Because he died.
They're around. No, they're around. The curses do reincarnate, so it's possible that
he'll come back. Yeah, he should be there. He better be there. If there's aliens, Mr. Magma should be back. It's not bait either. I'm being dead ass serious. Brian, what were your thoughts on this chapter? This new series, rather.
I will agree with you, Josh. There is something off about the art. It's not that it's bad. It's different from the rough, sketchy, like kind of imperfect art style that Gege brought to the table with JJK. Like, it just brought so much fluidity. It brought so much, like, I don't know, character. And this art feels like oddly nostalgic in the way that it's drawn. But it's very polished, and very clean and refined, which I guess could kind of talk to the state of Jujutsu sorcery currently compared to before, where now I guess since sorcery is way more, I don't know, efficient and kind of low key, it kind of brought people to start using their techniques a little bit more thoughtfully or more, I don't know, nuanced. So
yeah, I agree, bro. Like, this has to have been growth and progression. I don't want to accept that they're just weaker. Like, maybe weaker for combat, but maybe they've progressed their abilities to a point that, like, it assists them in different types of ways, right? Like, I want to believe that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right.
Because it just feels like a very notable difference. And, you know, the future is always kind of associated with clean and sleek, right? So maybe that's why the art is like clean and slick, because it kind of signifies time past. But yeah,
All the author is, you know, I said all the author is lacking and needs a little bit more time to fully spread their wings and show out. I mean, this biting twist, you know, battle sword drawing, that was kind of cool. I like that.
Shadow sword. It is new shadow style.
Yeah. Maybe they earned some points saying new shadow style. Maybe they did in that scenario, but it was cool. Fang over Fang. Maybe Dragon Ball Z put a bad taste in my mouth. Maybe she is going to reinvigorate the animal fighter archetype in ways that Animal Man and the girl that was in Justice League that was dating the Green Lantern, the black lady, she girl?
Vixen.
Thank you. Vixen was really cool. Shout out to Vixen. My bad, Brian. I definitely asked you about your thoughts, and then I started Talking shit about Fang over Fang. My bad, bro.
No, it's all good.
Couldn't help myself.
But the twins are pretty cool. Well, I don't know. I'm still not convinced entirely. I think the Fang over Fang is actually pretty cool to me. New Shadow style is always so fucking sick. So I'll always love seeing that around. But yeah, I'm extremely curious as to what the fuck is going to happen, because now there's aliens, and I feel like this might be Gege's way of saying, yo, Boruto, check this out. Let me show you how it's done, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Let me show you an Ochizuki.
Let me show you how to handle aliens in a post-time skip.
What'd you do with trees and fruits?
So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this is Gege kind of, tossing the gauntlet at Kishimoto.
Those are my thoughts. Diss track.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I mean, it is the first chapter, and I don't know. I think we were pretty high on Jujutsu Kaisen, even in its ending, which a lot of people don't seem to be. But I did, when I first heard about this, I didn't know that it would be a Jujutsu Kaisen spinoff. I think they kept that pretty close to the vest until like literally the week it came out.
Yeah.
I was very happy to see that Okotsu, grew up to, have a family and, live a pretty regular life, it seems.
Was he in Gojo's body? I think so.
No, the end of the series saw him return to his own body, but he has the stitches because, they had to transfer his brain.
Back and forth. Right?
Back and forth. So he did end up back in his own body.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, it'd be weird if he was walking around as Gojo for the rest of his life.
Oh boy, that would have been strange.
Yeah. I like the art. The art didn't bother me too much. There are moments where I feel like he does capture some Akutami-ness, here and there. But it's a completely different artist, and it's just something to get used to. Honestly, he's a good artist, and
he's solid. He's solid.
I think it is just getting used to it a little bit. But I definitely understand the apprehension, just because part of Jujutsu's charm was that sketchy, like Brian said, that sketchy like fighting style type artwork. But I think this also matches just kind of the more futuristic and sleek world of Jujutsu Kaisen in like 68 years later. So I don't mind it too much. I think the characters are cool. I think all the designs are great. My big theory is that Maru and his brother are the reincarnations of Sukuna and his twin.
Oh,
because they look
that's really good. Do they?
Yeah, they look like this kid looks like Sukuna a little bit. He's got some Sukuna.
A little bit. You know what? And let me go back to the beginning.
He's got some Sukuna in him. Or Sukuna's brother.
Is that his brother, the one on the throne?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Now that's Sukuna-y.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the lines on his face and shit. Yeah, he has the markings. Yo, that's got. I mean, I think it's a little on the nose, right? I think it's kind of clear.
It could be, it could be not, but it's very Sukuna-esque, both of these guys. But I mean, you know that Sukuna did have a twin that he absorbed in the womb. Mm-hmm. So this is just yet another reincarnation, and we know that curses can reincarnate. So I am excited to see what the series brings. It is going to be a short one. Supposedly, it's supposed to be going for 6 months. And then that'll be it. So
it's just going for 6 months. That's it.
Yeah, it's a limited series. Akutami mentioned that this is a shorter one.
It's a maxi series.
It's a maxi series, yeah. But Yeah, there's some cool stuff about it. I like the little hands thing that came out. It was very haunting, and just grab them. It reminded me kind of a Chainsaw Man type of thing. Um, to be honest,
Yeah, like
the
Chainsaw
gray
Man 2.
hands coming out and grabbing people
Oh,
and they disappear.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes. We do know about Boruto doing something similar, just bringing everything back to aliens. But I think one of the things I appreciate about this interpretation is that the aliens aren't the cause of everything, even though they do have similar abilities. Cursed energy doesn't come from a cursed tree where that is also a weird cursed animal that drops cursed fruit. And, you know, it's not just some weird retcon. These guys are a new element to the world in the distant future, which, tracks and it makes sense. And um, hopefully they don't fundamentally change the power system, but we'll have to see.
That's what I think. I think they're gonna definitely like rebuild cursed energy. They're gonna like reconstruct it and all of that. That's definitely what's gonna happen. Because even the way they were saying, "Oh, you guys call it cursed," it's very like it was clearly defined what cursed energy was, and it had like a lot of different ways it could be expressed. But the source of the power, what it actually was powering them, like made complete. Like it was concrete and solid, and now they're gonna make it so that it's actually something else. It's a power source from more than just that energy. But or I could be wrong, or it's still just all about curses. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? But that's all I gotta say about Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm excited to see where their series go and where Akutami takes us from here. But that's all I gotta say. Do we have any final thoughts before we move on?
I will say one more thing. Doesn't their superior kind of look like Higuruma a little bit?
He does kinda.
Higuruma?
Yeah, he's got like a Higuruma vibe to him.
If he had a bigger nose, I'd be more into it. But he does have
Who's
a little.
that again?
The lawyer.
Nah, he'll look like him.
I say he has a vibe to him. He has some kind of vibe. Maybe it's the hair.
Wait, who are you talking about? This you said the superior, right? The agent.
Yeah.
The one that's Mr. Yakisoba Chop Chop. But
Who is Usami in Jujutsu Kaisen? Okay, so I recognize this guy because I remember the name. And I'm like, who is Usami in Jujutsu Kaisen as of chapter 253? Usami remains an unknown person in the story. What we do know is that Usami is a grade 1 Jujutsu sorcerer, as mentioned by Kusakabe. So we never met this guy, but we don't know.
So this is a person that's been mentioned before?
This is probably a descendant of the person that was mentioned before.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Descendant of who? What? I'm totally lost right now. I mean,
so Usami is the name of the guy that is their mentor, their Jujutsu mentor, the one that Brian said looks like Higuruma a little bit. Usami is a character mentioned by name, but we never meet in the original series. So this might be this person's descendant because
we never met Usami.
No, but we've heard the name Usami.
Who did he and what's his relevance to?
He's a grade 1 sorcerer that we never met, but he's a name I recognize. Of like, who is Usami? I just looked it up.
Did he do the new shadow style or something? Is that what he's like? She's just a grade 1 sorcerer that we never seen.
Yeah.
What?
What?
But I'll leave it at that. That's all I have to say. Does anybody have anything else to say about Jujutsu Kaisen?
No.
All right, then we should probably move on to the next one. World Trigger. Okay, so this is a long chapter of World Trigger, so I'm going to be a little quick about it this time around. This is World Trigger chapter 257, the away mission test, part 48. We got the rules for the battle part of the away mission test last chapter, and this chapter we are getting the fallout from that kind of stuff. So we are learning a little bit about the engineers and learning that they're actually pretty capable fighters, seeing as how whenever they build something for the agents, they often test them out themselves in solo rank wars. So we don't know how strong they are in a team setting, but in solo matches they've actually beaten a fair amount of people. So that'll be interesting. We do learn that nobody's seen Rindo in action, so we don't know how strong he is going to be, but we do know that Sawamura, the woman that is going to sub in for one of Kazama's people, was originally was in the running to be the assistant director to either Sawamura or Azuma. And Azuma basically volunteered Sawamura to take the job, specifically because the assistant director is supposed to guard upper management if the director ever joins battle himself. So if Shinoda goes into battle, it is Sawamura's job to protect the rest of the upper echelon of Border. So that's how strong she is. She's entrusted with protecting the chief, the boss of Border. So yeah, it's not great, and they're all worth 100 points, whereas all of the B rank agents are worth a variable amount of points. So that's not great. They looked through the Tryon Soldier software for a while. It got an update, and shooter types can hold more ammunition now, so that's nice. So, they're just trying to figure out how to really deal with the loadouts, essentially. We cut over to Kakizaki Squad, and we see that Taichi is bringing up the idea of talking about Tryon soldiers, and they're saying that if we slot... And then, I guess they're trying to figure out their Tryon soldier situation. Murakami Squad is... discussing with Ko Murakami about, is like, if we slot in 2 shooter type triggers, Ko, with your enhanced sleep learning, would you be able to wield mixed shots by tomorrow, easy as pie? And Murakami's like, no, I can basically pick up new skills faster than the average person, as long as it's something one can improve with practice. So, it's not like he sees something, he falls asleep, he instantly learns it. So it has to be something he can apply practice to. So Kurauchi explains very quickly his process for mixing bullets, because he's the salamander guy from Oki Squad, and he basically explains that a lot of his technique comes from visualization. So he, tries to picture combining red and yellow sand to form orange, and that's how he creates his mixed bullets. And
there's a term.
advice...
Sorry, Chris, I had to interrupt you. There's a term in drill rap culture, right? It's kind of past then thing nowadays, but when he talked about smoking like ops, like they would say like, oh, I got such and such in the blunt, right? I'll never forget when one of these rappers, he said in a song, mix the Ike with the Craig. And I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about when I first heard that. And then my friend Surrender Knot put me on, and he was like, no, so Mike and Craig are 2 people that got killed from the other gang. So he's saying that he's putting both of them in the spliff. He's like, it's basically a super disrespectful thing to say. Turns out this guy that said that he ain't even really a gangbanger. He got pressed on 3 separate occasions. Wild story. Maybe I'll get into that. I think I told you guys about Aladdin.
No, I don't know about this.
Yeah. Aladdin Zantan. Yeah, I'll tell y'all about that story another day. Crazy shit.
Story.
You got peed on, bro.
What?
Yeah. Anyway.
No.
Sorry. So yeah, when he was talking about mixing the shots, I just was like, mix that. Yeah.
You want to make mixed bullets? It's like you're putting your ops together.
Yeah, you know, you make the 2 different strains of your ops and your backwood. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, visualization is a big deal with mixing bullets. And they ask him, is like, hey, is there anything you couldn't do with enough practice? And yeah, Murakami explains that he could never do Ikoma's whirlwind. He said it's simple enough to trace out the fundamental movements, but no matter how much I try, my sword speed is lacking. So, you know, he's like, I think it's got to do with bodily intuition, more almost like muscle memory. So, you know, there's limits to Murakami's ability to learn from people or replicate people. And he's like, well, if you could somehow grasp this intuition, you could even replicate Tachikawa's swordplay. He's like, yeah, at the very least, I could mimic the Tachikawa that I'm familiar with. So interesting. We then get this small scene with damn, I forget this guy's name, even though I've Kikuchihara and Kai, and they're talking about like, doesn't anything ever give you? Kikuchihara asks, was like, doesn't anything ever make you nervous? He's like, why? And he's like, well, being picked to the end shows how much the others don't think of you. And Kai's like, well, you know, even those who got picked last were guaranteed a spot on one of the squads. So why should it matter how soon or late you're picked? And heck, not being picked valued highly just gives you a chance to show them what you're made of. So ever the optimist.
Yeah, super optimistic way of looking at it.
Super. But it's a good mindset to have, I guess. So we get a little scene with Oki and Osamu, and they're talking before bed, and they're explaining, they're talking about how, like, you know, well, Osamu asks, is like, would you say there aren't many B rank agents trying to join away missions? He's like, no, I mean, it's a goal. It's an overall goal for all of us. You know, it's not in terms of in sports term, it's like making the nationals or repping Japan on the world stage. Though I guess it does tend to be the cream of the crop that joins the away missions. You get a feeling that they're somehow a cut above. And yeah, Osamu's like, well, yeah, I guess. Oki asks him what's got him feeling blue. He's like, don't tell me that the business with the captain's eval got you in a twist. And Osamu's like, yeah, it got me a little feeling some type of way. He's just like, I guess I'm wondering if you and Ui just went along with it instead of speaking your minds. Like, he doesn't want to. He feels bad that, like, you know, Oki and Ui probably just, you know, acquiesced, you know, just to go along with the group. And Oki explains, like, well, say we are gunning for the away mission. Even then, we're the types who'd want to go with this whole squad, which includes you. So, you know. But yeah, he's like, in this case, if it was your squad that won by the right to join us by kicking our butts in the rank wars. So, you know, fair is fair. There's nothing to feel bad about. We do get a bit of Oki's backstory here, and apparently he frequents this, like, Borders children's home where, like, there are kids who are orphaned by neighbor attacks, and occasionally border agents go there to visit the kids. And he gets he meets this kid who's basically, like, as he's leaving, is like, you want to play with us? And he's like, no, I mean, we're never going to see you guys again. So Oki made it a point to go back and to actually see these kids again and to act as more of a big brother, more than his capacity as an agent that goes over there. He actually gets very involved in it. And the reason that he wears a visor in his Tryon body is because he wants his little brothers at the shelter to kind of see him. Which
That
is
was
nice.
so cool.
Yeah, it's
I
very
thought that was really dope.
Yeah. So, and he explains like, hey, and Osamu is like, do any other agents visit the orphanage? But often besides you, I mean, it's like, not really. They're really strict about what goes on in there. So, you're not supposed to bring care packages, but you do see Commander Keto there a whole lot. Which is cool because, he's usually such a stoic guy. So it's kind of cool to see the commander have like kind of a little human side. But yeah, Shinoda and Kinuda go there as well because apparently the reason being the kids at the children's home are given priority terms of jobs at Border. So it's basically they can just work at Border. They look out for them. They give them a job whether they're, they can join Border as an agent or employee. They can join Border while pursuing higher education. They help them out with school. That's very nice. Border is a solid organization, I suppose. But yeah, Oki explains that he's not out to be some larger than life hero. He just wants to be a big brother who's always there for him, which is very cool to see a little depth from his character. So yeah, Suwa basically pulled them aside and asked, like, hey, you guys want to join the away mission? And they're like, nah, not as a solo agent. So
yeah, right.
So they explained is like, look, Sue explains like, look, I'm not saying I'll play favorites for him, but like, Osamu's really staking everything on this damn test. So, there will likely be chances to help him show off to management. So so if you notice me during the test passing the ball to Mikumo so he can pitch more, you'll know why I'm doing it, and it's not personal. And the other two agree because they're nice guys, they're nice folks, trying to help their boy out. And the chapter ends with Squad 7 getting ready to go and join the rank wars. Wow. That is the end of World Trigger. Josh, what did you think about World Trigger chapter 257?
It was a cool chapter. I don't have too many thoughts. There was some really nice moments like what you just covered with Makumo and the sniper gid, and even just kind of a little bit of the world building introduced with the orphanages. I don't know how much of a role they're going to play in the overall story, but I thought it was just nice to acknowledge the fact that obviously there's a lot of kids that had their parents killed, from these Navy invasions and all of that, and that the border agents do more than just fight them. They also feel like they have an obligation. At least some of them do. But I think the sniper kid, I keep forgetting his name, but he's going above and beyond, and it's kind of inspiring. I mean, World Trigger always finds a way to inspire me, like in real life, outside of just like, the story, like, thinking the characters are dope. But man, I'm sure we all feel the same. I'm ready. I'm ready for this big ass fucking
let's fight.
These non-rank war fights.
I want violence.
Second phase of the exam. I mean, it's going to be complex and hectic. Like, there's so many agents involved, and like we were talking about earlier in the beginning of the show, I mean, we don't really have too much context about these Eric agents outside of maybe their fights with neighbors, and not even real serious neighbors, like, just like the bugs and shit. So, yeah, someone I've always wanted to see in a rank war style fight is the spear guy, for example. I don't think he's a part of. I think they announced everyone. Yeah, he's not in it.
Yeah, well, Yonea is in the. You're talking about the spear guy, you said?
Yeah. Yonea.
Yeah, Yonea is. He's there. He's in the A rank.
Oh, he's there. Yeah, so he's someone I've really been curious about seeing in rank war play. So if this is the closest we'll get to something like that, I can't wait. Brian, what were your thoughts?
Oh man, this is so fucking good. It's so good. I don't have much to say aside from, man, this is a really good fucking setup for whatever's about to go down. But I find it curious as to if there is a deeper meaning for Keto and them showing up to that orphanage.
Yeah, they mentioned that they're scouting essentially.
Yeah, they're scouting.
They help out those kids in their future.
Yeah, they've mentioned that. Obviously, that's the obviously that's the PR answer. That could be like a PR answer, and there's a chance that maybe they have somebody else there.
Hey.
Because the Tamakoma guy goes there, and that is what kind of makes me like, okay, maybe there's something more to this that we'll see later on. Because Tamakoma is often associated with neighbors. So they must be they must have some kind of secret. That's my long shot theory, that maybe they all have still one more ace up their sleeve or something like that, something along those lines in this orphanage. And that's why they visit it so often. Because they are very, very particular about the shit that they do, these upper fucking management guys. Like, if this whole entire operation didn't tell you how, like, you know, meticulous they are, then I don't know. I think there's a chance, but those are my thoughts.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about this one either. This is like a nice little prelude chapter to before you jump into the action. And I think even then we probably won't get action very next chapter, but it was really cool. You know, we're done with the written part of the away test, and I know that this has been like a testing arc, you know, for a lot of people, but I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and the chapters like this are a great example to really dive into the expanded cast and get to know them more, and to develop their characters and not just like the main Tamakoma 2 characters, because it seems that a lot of these guys are going to end up going on the B rank, on the A rank away test, so we might as well get to know them here now, so that we're invested in them by the time we move on to the away mission. But yeah, this has been great, and I really like this little Oki thing, this little bit of world building. Murakami is every time they further explain Murakami's power, it becomes slightly less impressive. But I think that's like side effects in general. Like they're not all supposed to be OP, and in general they're supposed to be like cognitive abilities more than anything. So it's an interesting thing. But yeah, I don't have much else to say. I'm excited for what comes next. Do we have any rebuttals before we move on?
No, sir.
No.
All right. Let's go.
Bow, bow, bow.
Dandadan.
All right. So the chapter picks up with Vamola and Momo working together to kind of take down the frog castle that just spawned in front of them. And Momo calls out to Vamola to see if she can hear her from outside the suit. And to everyone's surprise, Vamola can. And it's because her suit can recognize Momo, even if her eyes can't. Because it looks like Momo has completely lost vision. Like she can't even make out the details of Momo within the suit. So they start rushing over towards the castle, And they go invisible and do an invisible ninja attack called Blast Wind Thrust Attack. So Vamola enters her mech, becomes giant, and then invisible. And as she kind of throws the punch, the fucking castle jumps into the air over them.
Bro, it does a front flip over them.
Yes.
Which is fucking insane. And it goes, that trick won't work on me. That power you're using, you're using retro reflective projection technology. He's just aware of everything ninja, apparently.
Yeah.
Anything that might be stealthy, he's aware of it. And he goes, the ninja I have flying around me have definite verification of your form. And all these ninjas that are on kites start to fucking explode onto the mech like fireworks. And it turns out that they're not just regular old fireworks. They're doing big damage to Vamola's ship. And if it depletes all of its energy, then the suit will just deflate and they're basically fucked. And it takes a full day for the gauge to recover too, on top of that. So as they're kind of getting blown up, Momo calls for Vamola to get closer to the castle to just close the distance. And the dude just keeps going. He goes, you fool, I am a true ninja. A phony like you can't even compare. As Vamola's trying to kind of strike at him and fight him off, but he keeps playing keep away.
Dodging the shit, swerving her every move.
This fucking temple is
she didn't land out one fucking hit on him. This big ass temple, right, Chris?
Yeah, the fucking schmoves.
Yeah, my son was wave dashing and all of that. Fucking wall bouncing. Whatever they doing, whatever movement abilities you have in LOL, he was doing that too. I know there's doing that of some sort, especially as a jungler. You have to.
But eventually, like, he just keeps playing keep away, and the fireworks just keep on popping until eventually the suit falls down and shrinks, and then he stomps on top of the suit just for good measure. And he goes, oops, I might end up killing you before I'm able to steal your powers. Oh well, quicker to just hand over your corpse to the Serponians for them to dissect. And then from within his castle, Momo actually snuck in with Vamola the whole time, abandoning the suit and grabbing all of the fucking fireworks off of all the flying ninja around him. And they scattered it within the castle. And the dude starts panicking. He goes, this isn't funny. I'll get you out of me, halfwit, and starts shaking the castle to try to get him out. Mm-hmm. But Momo explains the fact that, oh yeah, wait a second, we were able to hand on to a crashing fucking jet, buddy. You're not gonna get us out of here
in a shark typhoon. I remember that. I do remember that still. That did happen right before.
That did happen. That is true.
Right before
that was the thing that happened.
That was a thing.
Fought an actual living storm.
It was pretty wild how crazy that shit was.
It was like Digimon, bro.
And as he's kind of going, as he's kind of shaking around, Momo goes, after what you did to my grandma, you're not getting off. Not you, people. And she charges a Momo tri-beam and blows up every firework from within him. With this huge, like, quarter-page spread of this beautiful fucking destruction with fireworks going off all around him. And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what are your thoughts?
It looks like he's defeated. I mean, the house is breaking up into pieces and shit, right?
Yeah,
So
I would say
he
so.
lost.
That is true. He does look pretty defeated.
Yo, that or hope. I hope he doesn't have another form. I don't know what it would be. A UFO, Space Jam.
Not sure.
I don't know. Space
Space
Ninja
Jam.
Jam. That's his name. Whatever. Good. He just Mola and what's her name was right. He needed to go because of what happened to Seiko and the fact that they holding him up. They doing a lot, and we just need to get our girl back to a normal size. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. Mola held it down. I mean, they almost got beat by the goofiest character ever, but I was wrong. I was wrong. They handled him no problem. Anyway, Chris, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this was a fun chapter. I just want to say that the amount of dedication that it must have taken to draw this fucking temple over and over as detailed that he did
Yeah,
is fucking insane. Because I think the author Tatsu Yukinobu, I think he's one of the people who still who still draws on paper. So all of this, he had to draw this shit on paper, and that's fucking insane. Yeah, such a talented guy. Very jealous of his dedication, because even more so than talent, a lot of this stuff is just the dedication to include every detail every time. So man, fucking nuts. I love this weird lizard thing, this chameleon. I think he does a weird in a series of weird antagonists. He really stands out, and I don't know how he thinks about this shit. That's often what I find myself thinking when I read Dandadan is like, how does he fucking think about this shit?
Where does your inspiration stem from?
Yeah, how does one think of this? But really, those are all my thoughts on Dandadan this week. Brian, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I don't have too many thoughts. This is a pretty self-explanatory chapter, but it was always a fun time as per usual. Just absolute fucking chaos. But yeah, honestly, not too many thoughts. Really like the creative. Momo is very good at coming up with creative solutions to problems, and that's always really fun to see. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Brian, I'm sorry. Your thoughts got your part got drowned out. I'm sorry. Could you say that again? Because my Wi-Fi is acting up.
Okay. Honestly, I don't have too many thoughts. This was a pretty fun little clever chapter for Momo to kind of figure out a solution to the problem in a cool way. And yeah, pretty fun average Dandadan chapter, honestly. Amazing art followed by silly goofy gaffes. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
All right. Well, that was Dandadan, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Wow, this is a long one, but yeah, we had to bring some stuff over. Very excited. Thank you guys so much for listening. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh is at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the show at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram as well. Subscribe to us, please. That would be super cool. Subscribe, like, share the videos on the YouTube. You can also check us out on Spotify and on iTunes. Email the show at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, and we may bring them up on the pre-show chat show. You never know. But yeah, that's it for this week. I'm super exhausted. We will see you guys next week. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace.
Peace out, yeah.